Do you think your homestead could feed an army? Do you think you can scale it up to feed an army? Let me give you some thoughts on why I'm thinking about this. Recently had a discussion with a few others about this very topic, whether your homestead, farm, house, where you live could actually support other people. Having multiple other people living on your homestead, for instance. Now, the situation that a lot of people talk about is, when what hits the fan, everything goes to hell, there's riots, roving bands of people, and one of the things that's going to have to happen is you're going to need other people on your homestead to help you secure it and protect it. This, where we are right now, is this one's 13 acres. There's no way we could protect this all ourselves. We have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to look after personal hygiene, that kind of thing. So to expect a family to be able to not only continue doing chores and the necessary things that have to happen on the homestead for growing food, to then also be able to secure that homestead in the time of SHTF, you're going to need help. Now, you've probably had family and friends that have said, when the manure hits the fan, I'm coming to your place, I'm going to stay with you and all that. And for me, that's fine in a lot of cases, because a lot of those people that have said that, or that I would expect to come here, have lots of skills that are valuable. So I would readily accept them. The only situation then, thinking forward, would be is, say they leave even with enough food for a month. What happens after a month on your homestead if now you're going to have to start feeding all of those people who have now shown up? How fast are you going to be able to scale your farm up to now be able to provide meat for them, provide vegetables for them? You'll have the manpower there to be able to allow for it and allow for the gardening, allow for the chores to be done. But again, it's a matter of upscaling the farm quick enough to handle that. If we had 2 families, 3 families, 4 families, even just one family come here in a time of need, in a situation where they were now dependent on us providing food, it would take a while to be able to increase our production. We can't just suddenly magically have cows appear. It takes a while to plan, it takes a while for them to get pregnant, and then it takes a while for them to grow up to harvest size. So again, you're looking at anywhere from a year to 3 years to be able to increase your production up to scale just to feed another family with the size of cows we have. Plants and trees only grow so fast, and they only produce so many fruits and vegetables. So again, having people show up here and expecting to be fed, you now have to increase your production. You have to, say we take another family on the same size as ours, we'd have to double the size of our raised beds and double our garden sizes and planting double what we already do. If that happens in the fall, we can't do that until the next spring, and then harvest won't be till basically a year later in the next fall. So planning for something like that, if you're worried about the manure hitting the fan, there's a lot to think about. You do now have the extra hands available to be able to go out and forage, to garden, to do these types of things. But again, if it's a manure hit the fan situation, you're going to need a few of those people again to continue to monitor the property, patrol the property, and provide the security that they're there for. Now, it's not only your friends, family, or acquaintances, people they're on the homestead that you're going to have to feed, but it's also your animals. Now, if you're getting hay like us from an outside source, is that hay still going to be available? Is the chicken feed still going to be available? Is the pig feed still going to be available? How are you now going to manage feeding your cows, your pigs, your rabbits, your chickens? Some of them aren't too bad. So like rabbits, it's pretty much easy to feed them if you're able to let them run out on the grass and clover and that sort of stuff. Come winter here, it gets a little harder. Now for our cows, we would need much more acreage for them to be really self-sufficient, not have to worry about buying hay. We use the hay because we don't have as much acreage to do rotational grazing. So the hay helps supplement that grass that we're growing. Now for us, we're lucky because a lot of our property on the 13 acres, maybe at least half of it or close to just over half of it is pine forest. So we'd be able to clear it and be able to build more area for the cows, more fenced area, fields. We'd be able to expand our gardens even more than they already are. However, with the pine forest, the ground isn't that great for growing. So now, again, it's gonna take, say we clear it, get all the roots out, that's gonna take a while. Make it perfect for gardening, that's gonna take a wee bit of time. We've done that with another section where we cleared for the fire, and it took us a year to get that cleared for gardening. Now once you do that, now the soil isn't the greatest. You're gonna have to work on the soil to amend the soil, and that's gonna take time as well. So trying to build up your homestead to be able to feed an army or a whole bunch of people that are now going to be living on your homestead to secure your homestead and help you and protect each other and, you know, do medical stuff and that kind of thing. How are you going to do that? A few things you can do is actually start now, planning ahead, getting ready for that kind of situation if you're worried about it. And some of the things that you can do is start seed saving. Start saving the seeds from all your flowers, all your plants, all your vegetables. Save them for the next year and learn how to save them, store them, and start growing them. You can expand your gardens if you have the space. Learn how to vertical garden. So instead of growing squash or cucumbers along the ground, learn how to grow them vertically. Learn how to propagate. So if you're taking bushes like this, learn how to take cuttings, make root cuttings, or take cuttings and learn how to root them. And that way you don't have to start this kind of stuff from seed. You can start it from a cutting and begin to expand what you have in the way of bushes and trees that much quicker. Take the time to learn about food preservation, like smoking and canning, that sort of thing, where you'll be able to save that food that you're now producing. If you have the space, time, and budget, get yourself a greenhouse built. They're an amazing way to extend your season, both at the start and the end of the season. It also allows you to grow produce that is not normally grown in your zone. For example, we're up here in northern Quebec, and we can grow bell peppers, hot peppers, that kind of thing inside the greenhouse, where there's no way we could actually grow that properly outside here. Make sure you have some chickens, some dual purpose, so they're good for meat and they're good for eggs. And make sure you have a rooster, because that way then you can continue to expand your flock of chickens and not have to worry about buying in chicken from an outside source. So guys, I hope this video is giving you a little food for thought on how to scale up your homestead, or what to look for in scaling up your homestead in a situation where you might have to start providing for other families. If you like this video, check this one out here too, as what to look for in a homestead.